Hi boys and girls. In this video I'm going to be talking to you about how we're going to be doing a collage. And a collage is where you are cutting and gluing a variety of different materials together to make a new picture. And in this video we're going to be looking at making one where you are combining two or more animals to make a brand new animal. So you might think about two animals that might be very different from one another. Like in the one I'm showing you here, I thought of a salamander and a bird, and I thought of, well, how would those two look if you brought them together? And what I ended up with was a salamander body and head, but then it has bird wings and a bird tail. So think of your two animals, and then what I'll do is try to figure out which parts of each of those animals I'm going to use. So in mine that I'm going to be working with right now, I'm going to be bringing together, I thought it would be cool if there was an aquatic dog. So I thought of maybe a dog with a dolphin. So I started cutting some pieces together. And what I'll always try to do is I'll try to draw pieces first before I cut them out. So I've cut out some of my pieces ahead of time. Like I cut out this dog head, and then I cut out like a raindrop shape for its ear, a small green circle for the eye and nose. The only piece I haven't cut out yet are fins. Um, and I'm going to do 4 fins to make it different than a regular dolphin. And one trick to always keep in mind if you need multiples is to fold it. So I'm going to fold my paper 1, 2, 3, 4 times. And the reason I'm going to do that is so that then I can have my 4 different, I'm trying to think of which way I want it folded, but that way I can have my 4 fins. The materials that you're going to use with this are whatever materials you might happen to have laying around. I've been using magazine pages with this, but you could also use junk mail. You could use newspaper. You could use wrapping paper. Any kind of paper that you want. You can also use cardboard like from cereal boxes. That's just going to be a little bit thicker. So I've drawn my kind of fin shape, and then I'm going to try and cut through those 4 pieces of paper now that I have it folded. And the advantage of that is that then I'm only cutting once, and I get all 4 fins. One thing you're going to run into with collage is that when you're cutting out shapes, you're going to end up with letters in there. It's pretty much a guarantee. And the reason for that is that, well, you're using things that you found in the mail. So it's going to end up that you get something that has letters on it. I just try to embrace it and think that it's just a cool way. It's just another way that collage is kind of unique. But if it bothers you, one thing that I'll do is I'll turn the letters upside down and then they're less recognizable. And I ended up being 1 fin short. So I'm going to cut 1 extra one over here. And my 1 extra is going to be a slightly different color, and that's alright too. So, one of the things that you don't really know about collage until you do it is you don't really know how things are going to look together until you really just start putting them together. You don't really know what you're going to think until you really start putting these things next to each other, and then you get a feel for how it's going to look. And then almost always I end up making adjustments. Like I'm trying to decide with that head, and yeah, I'm going to trim off a little bit on this end. So you may cut out a shape, and then you realize that that shape needs to be different. But I would always suggest laying things out, making sure you like the whole picture before you do gluing. Because once you glue it, you're stuck with it. Whether you like it or not, you're stuck with that. So, like one thing I'm realizing now is that these back fins, I want those to be a little smaller, I think. My dog's probably never going to go on land. It's just going to be an aquatic dog. So its back fins are going to be a little smaller. But I'll always lay things out, see what I think, and then once I decide that I like what I have, then I'm going to glue it down. And if you're thinking, Mr. Seiler, I don't have glue, what am I going to do? If you don't have glue, then once you get it the way you want, take a picture of that, and then you have it. So, I hope that is helpful. Think of your two animals and see what you can create, and I would love for you to share them with me on our Google Forms that I have on the website, or you can send them to me. You can show them to me on Twitter too. Either way would be wonderful. But happy collaging. Have fun.